in the last 10 days of Ramadan, I need these 20 Ramadan sleep hacks. First of all, what time am I going to go to bed? I'm going to go to bed by 11 p.m. Why 11 p.m.? Because I want to catch the blessings of Laylatul Qadr. I want to wake up for tahajjud at least an hour before Fajr prayers. What are these Ramadan sleep hacks I'm going to do? This is one of them. If I sleep by 11 p.m. at night, I aim to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Now, in my part of the world, Fajr or Subhi prayers are around 5:15 a.m. in the morning. And so, if I want to have an hour at least of dhikr, praying to Allah for forgiveness, astaghfirullah, reading Quran, and asking Allah for Jannah Firdaus, paradise, inshallah, for me and you, then I need to sleep by 11 p.m. After an hour between 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning of this devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will need about 15 minutes for my suhoor, right? Because we all know that, yes, in suhoor, there is a blessing. And I need to do my suhoor. And by 5:15 a.m., it's time for prayer. And so I've done my tahajjud, dhikr, astaghfirullah, recited Quran, and asked Allah for Jannah Firdaus on the blessed days, or should I say, the blessed nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, in order to get Laylatul Qadr. Now, you can quantify that as about 5 hours of sleep. So between 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 a.m. Yes, about 5 hours. Now, if I were to use the sleep cycle method, I would say I would get about, I'd be getting about 4 sleep cycles in that time. About 4 or 5 sleep cycles. But I'm not using that method. So I'm going to use my alarm clock. Yes, I'm going to use my alarm clock. Now, what is my alarm clock? My alarm clock is this phone that I'm shaking. That's my alarm clock. And it has been working for me so far in these first 20 days of Ramadan. First 10, mercy. Second 10, forgiveness. And last 10, ask Allah for Jannah Firdaus. So that alarm clock, don't forget it. It's fantastic. How about that screen time? The phone. This phone. Scrolling through your timeline before you go to sleep. Exposing your eyes to brightness. Going through your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, to see what is the latest. I need to limit that. I need to limit my screen time to just about 30 minutes every day, or rather every night before I go to sleep. Okay, so I'm going to sleep by 11 p.m. at night, right? And so at least an hour before I go to sleep, by 10 p.m., I will limit my screen time to just about 30 minutes. And why am I going to do this? Well, because if your eyes are exposed to these bright lights, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on my tablet, whether it's on my computer screen, doing work, unfinished work, always leave unfinished work. Well, should I say, finish your work at work. Don't bring it back home. Don't expose yourself to those bright lights. Why? Because bright lights will prevent you from having a calm and restful sleep. And so by limiting my screen time to just 30 minutes of that brightness, it will help me have a more relaxing, calm, and restful sleep. But I can do something better than that. Have you heard of the dark mode? The dark mode. The dark mode. The dark mode is switching changing the mode on your phone to the dark mode. It's more calming, it's dark, and it helps you acclimatize to the darkness even before you start sleeping. And so while you are scrolling social media, those 30 minutes, or even less if you can, put your phone, your tablet, your computer screen on dark mode so that when you fall asleep, it will come easier to you. Okay? I think that's a great tip, a great Ramadan sleep hack, a great Laylatul Qadr sleep hack, a great last 10 nights of Ramadan sleep hack. How about before I go to sleep? Has it been very, very hot in your part of the world? In my part of the world, it is very, very hot. In your part of the world, it might be spring, but in my part of the world, it is the hot weather. The rains are yet to come, and so the weather is dry and it is very, very hot. It might be a bit humid sometimes when it drizzles or when it rains a bit, but the rains aren't here fully yet. And so it is extremely hot. So what do I need to do? I need to have a bath before I go to bed, because sometimes there is no light to power this air condition you are seeing up here. Yeah, even this fan, some people don't have rechargeable fans like this. And so they need the coolness in order to sleep. Your body temperature needs to drop by about 1 to 3 degrees before you're able to sleep in a restful manner. And so if you have a bath, even if there's no light to power the electricity to power this fan and this air condition, you can open your windows. You can open these windows. Open them wide open so that the breeze can come in and you'll be able to sleep better. But how about before you even go to sleep? What are some of the other things I need to do these last 10 days, these last 10 nights of Ramadan, in order to catch Laylatul Qadr effectively, not tired, not apathetic, not exhausted, not frustrated, in order for Allah to answer my du'as these last 10 nights of Ramadan? Laylatul Qadr is what we're all aiming for. When I'm having that bath, could I use those lavender oils? Lavender and some other herbal oils have been found to be very restful, very calming. They have a soothing effect on your nerves. If I don't have those oils, I can use a scented soap, a scented body wash, in order to have a calm, lovely smelling bath. So I think that's a good idea. I'm going to try that as well. What else am I going to do in order to have a calming, restful sleep during the last 10 nights of Ramadan to catch Laylatul Qadr, apart from what I've already mentioned? I'm going to refer to my notes. Yes, I've mentioned the dark mode, keeping myself cool. Now, I need to protect my mental health. How am I going to protect my mental health in order to wake up calm and restful? Feeling calm and restful, feeling rejuvenated in order to pray to Allah, in order for that dhikr to be effective to Allah, in order for Allah to accept my du'as, my astaghfirullahs, my prayer for Jannah Firdaus, in order for Allah to accept my verses, the reading of my verses of the Quran. What do I need to do? I need to pray. I need to meditate. Have I prayed my Taraweeh prayers? Yes, my Asham prayers. I've prayed my Asham prayers. I usually do 10 rak'ahs, of two rak'ahs each. And then afterwards, I do my Shafa'i 2 rak'ahs. And then, of course, the Witr 1 rak'ah. Afterwards, do a little bit of dhikr. Put your mind in that calm, restful mode. Meditate to Allah. Pray to Allah to be able to wake up restful in order to worship Him at night. Pray and listen to Quran even. You can listen to a few verses of the Quran. If you're the kind that takes a while to sleep, to go to sleep, you can put on your phone or the radio playing Quran, some Quranic verses, quietly in the background, and together with that calm, cool feeling from your bath, from your shower, from the breeze coming in through the windows, you will have a restful sleep. De-stress that body for that better sleep. Calm your mind down and then pray to Allah that He allows you to wake up, and not just wake up and then bam, bang the snooze button or bang the stop button on the alarm, which will make you not wake up, and that will be disastrous for your akhirah these last 10 nights of Ramadan. What else can I do? Have you heard of those power naps? What are power naps? Sometimes those 5 hours of sleep between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning might not be enough for you. Because if you're the kind of person who sleeps about, let's say, 7 to 9 hours every night, and you have not accustomed yourself to sleeping just about 5 hours of sleep at night, you will need power naps. Now, what are those power naps? Power naps are just short naps that you can have during the daytime in order to boost your awareness, your alertness during the daytime, in order to perform your daily Ramadan tasks, the goals you have set out for your Ramadan, and also for you to be a little bit extra rejuvenated during these Ramadan times, both the day and the night. So you can doze off, but don't forget to set your alarm. Your alarm needs to be set to about, let's say, for a 15-minute, a 20-minute nap. That's a power nap. You can doze off on your bed. You can doze off on a chair. You can doze off on the couch. Just don't allow it to be more than 30 minutes of the power naps for that rejuvenation. That will help you these last 10 nights of Ramadan. Don't miss out on Laylatul Qadr. Inshallah. I will not. I bet you will not. I bet you'll not after listening to this. So, your 20-minute power nap in the afternoon can, up your reducing energy levels, even your focus levels. You might not be able to focus well during your dhikr at night sometimes because you feel tired. But if you have those power naps in the afternoon, you will feel less groggy, less sleepy when you wake up. Okay? For me, I found out that even sleeping like an hour after Fajr, just an hour, I of course leave my alarm clock so that it could wake me up exactly like an hour after, about one sleep cycle. It also helps me to rejuvenate myself and prevents me from feeling groggy either in the daytime or at nighttime when I want to worship Allah. And so, are you the kind of person that does ablution before you go to sleep? If you're the kind of person that finds it difficult to perform ablution before you go to sleep, that's wudu, you can do your ablution, do your Taraweeh prayers, do your Shafa'i and Witr prayers, and then go to sleep with the ablution, with your intention to wake up. This has a lot of blessings attached to it. If you have wudu, you're pure in Allah's sight, and it is going to be fantastic for you in all the ways. Now, how about after you eat? When do I stop eating? When do I stop eating before I go to sleep? The general medical consensus is that you should stop eating at least 2 hours before you go to sleep. So for me, I'm planning on sleeping by 11 p.m. And so at least by 9 p.m., I should stop eating. Why should I stop eating at least 2 hours before I sleep? So that my digestion would have been, at least to some level, complete. You don't want to go to sleep with that heavy tummy, do you? With a feeling of, discomfort. That food is still in your tummy. That water is still in your tummy. You still feel a bit bloated. You will not sleep well. You just will not sleep well. So I'm going to stop eating at least 2 hours before I sleep, by 9 p.m. Inshallah. And if I have some indigestion, because some of us have some indigestion, isn't it? After eating, especially on days, or should I say iftar days or iftar nights, where you eat a bit more than you should have. Why not try that chamomile tea? If you don't have chamomile tea, you can even use fresh ginger or dried ginger to make tea, because ginger has been found to aid with digestion if you don't have chamomile. So just take that herbal tea. Even green tea can help you out to aid that digestion on that full stomach. Even for those nights where, let's say, you are not able to sleep 2 hours before, you're not able to stop eating 2 hours before then, and you still feel a bit bloated, you can take your herbal tea, so that it's just a small cup of tea, so that it can aid your digestion. Thankfully, I don't take coffee. I take coffee sometimes, but I mean hardly. And if I take coffee, I take it with milk. And when I take coffee, probably because I put a lot of milk in it and it's quite dilute, it doesn't prevent me from sleeping. But for caffeine lovers, you need to stop taking your coffee at least, it's advised at least 8 hours even before you go to sleep, because caffeine is notorious for keeping you awake. You will not be able to sleep. You'll be so alert that when you now wake up eventually for your dhikr, for your worship to Allah in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the last 10 days of Ramadan, your tahajjud prayers, you will not be effective. So stop that caffeine at least 8 hours before you go to sleep. Up your energy levels, okay? You need that. It is essential. How about those of us that eat large portions of food for iftar and even snack just before going to sleep? Please don't do that. I'm, inshallah, planning on not doing that. As I said before, I'm going to stop eating by 9 p.m. And it is not going to be large portions, just your normal portions that you've been used to these last 20 days of Ramadan. I'm sure you've watched my videos, my lives, either here or here. Click on it after this video, where I've talked about the kinds of foods I've been eating, the kinds of fruits, vegetables, and generally your food habits during Ramadan. Take small portions. The size of your fist is enough for you. The size of your fist. And be hydrated. Stay hydrated. Yes, this water is essential. At least 4 liters in a day. So have your measuring jug. Have a bottle that is about 4 liters so that you can measure your hydration. Hydration will make up your energy levels greatly. It will make you feel more rejuvenated to perform those acts of ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what have you been eating these last 20 days of Ramadan? First 10 days, second 10 days. Have you been eating those high carbohydrate containing foods? Those spicy foods? Those snacks and pastries with plenty of sugar in it? If you have, you need to stop it, because it's going to make you feel tired, exhausted, lethargic when you eventually wake up for tahajjud prayers in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. These last 10 days of Ramadan are not for playing, guys. It's not for playing. It's for devotion to Allah. It's for your akhirah. It's for you to gain al-Jannah Firdaus. So why should I eat those oily foods? Why should I eat 5, 6, 7, 10 samosas or 10 spring rolls fried? Those cakes, those sweets, those candies. No, I don't need them. I can manage maybe one, just one. And then eat more of fruits and vegetables, fiber-containing foods, as I have mentioned before in my other videos. Don't forget to watch the Ramadan playlist, especially this year's. And stay focused in your ibadah to Allah. And for your sustained source of energy. I am Dr. Hadiza Marliyya Suleiman, your favorite holistic reconstructive surgeon. Let us worship more in these last 10 nights of Ramadan and gain Allah's blessings, gain Allah's happiness, joy with us, and let us gain that Jannah Firdaus. Inshallah. I'll see you next time.